It's safe to say that 2020 has been a roller coaster year. A global pandemic took the world by storm, forever altering the way we live life. As hard a year 2020 has been, is it possible that 2021 will be even harder? Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell so you get updated with our latest content. Our video is 2021 predictions. Will 2021 be harder than 2020? We start off our list at number 5 with the deadly asteroid. Most of you haven't heard of this because this asteroid didn't hit Earth. But it nearly did, and it was a close call that could have possibly made 2020 an even worse year. Back in November, asteroid 2020 VT4 was orbiting around the solar system, and it passed over the southern Pacific at just under 250 miles. It actually set a record for the closest documented non-meteoric asteroid pass versus the Earth. What makes this shocking is that this record was previously broken back in August, when another asteroid also narrowly missed impact with Earth. Asteroid VT4 is around 5 to 10 meters, the size of a small house. If the asteroid hit Earth, we would have felt an impact equivalent to the bombing of Hiroshima back in World War II. It has enough power to wipe out a small town from the face of the Earth. Now that we narrowly missed it, the next time 2020 VT4 will visit Earth will be in 2052. But that doesn't mean there aren't other asteroids roaming around, making their way to our beloved planet. We hope it doesn't happen, but we shouldn't be surprised if we hear news of an asteroid coming our way. And it makes us wonder what else 2021 has in store for us. At number 4, we have the new Great Depression. We never thought that it could possibly happen in our lifetime. But then again, neither did we think that a global pandemic could happen in our lifetime as well. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed a lot of things, and one of that is the stability of the world's economy. All the economies in the world went into a global recession, and many predicted that a new Great Depression could happen in the post-pandemic world we'll be living in. And even with a vaccine now, you've probably heard the news of the new COVID-19 strain originating from the UK and South Africa. It goes to show that this pandemic is far from over. With the world still in lockdown, how can our economy gain ground on all that it's lost in a year that has experienced so much loss? We could very well be having a second depression happening. So many people lost their jobs due to the pandemic, and we still have small businesses that still can't open, and big businesses still suffering from major losses. And to be honest, even before the pandemic happened, it was already hard enough to land a good job. And now it just seems impossible, especially if you're part of the working class. If a second depression hits the Earth, we will come back from it, as history has showed time and time again. Sadly, the effect might be too drastic that some of us may never recover from it. Here's to hoping that it doesn't happen in 2021. At number 3, we have the coming earthquake and tsunami in America. In its history, America has experienced 31 tsunamis, with the most destructive tsunami having been recorded in March 1964, and it came after the largest earthquake ever recorded in North America and the second largest in the whole world. There have been many earthquakes happening in the US the past couple of years, most notably in the Los Angeles area. Thankfully, it's not reached catastrophic levels, but after a year of dealing with the pandemic, who's to say that a massive earthquake isn't set to hit the US this year? Especially if you're one of those Bible diehards who interpret every natural disaster to happen in the world in correlation to the book of Revelation. They say that based on Revelation, a massive earthquake and tsunami will hit the US this year. If a mega tsunami would hit the US, it could prove deadly and dangerous, and has potential to be the worst natural disaster in the US so far. Waves could go as high as 900 meters high, coming in 30-meter waves at a speed of 900 kilometers an hour. Just imagining the impact of this scenario is absolutely devastating. If this does happen, then 2021 could very well overtake 2020 as a terrible year. At number 2, we have the Great Starving. As if the depression wasn't bad enough, now, because of the pandemic, the food crisis around the world could actually double. We already have conflict and climate change contributing to people not getting enough food and not having enough food supplied to them. But because of the pandemic, things have gone from bad to worse. The World Food Programme, the branch of the UN responsible for life-saving food assistance, will need to serve 138 million people this 2021. More than ever in its history. While we're dealing with the pandemic, the fear of the World Food Programme is that people could die of hunger instead of the virus. The hunger crisis intensified this past 2020, and we can only expect it to get worse this 2021. In the US alone, over 26 million adults don't have enough food to eat, having to rely on food banks and vouchers to sustain themselves, while others have no other choice but to steal basic goods and needs due to the unemployment brought on by the coronavirus pandemic. Even before COVID, food insecurity was already bad. It just got worse and is on pace to be even worse. In a year that's filled with promise and optimism, it already has a black stain on its resume with the ongoing food crisis. And at number 1, we have the Disease X pandemic. In the absolute worst-case scenario possible, what worse way than to deal with the ongoing pandemic than the next pandemic that is set to hit the world? Disease X is the next virus that could cause a global pandemic that scientists all around the world are studying and predicting. The tricky part is that nobody knows what it is yet, because it has yet to happen. What we do know is that COVID-19 originated from a zoonotic disease, a virus found in wildlife that was able to affect humans. Disease X will likely be from the same mold. Disease X is also on the priority list of diseases along with SARS and Ebola. Nobody knows where Disease X will come from, nobody knows when, but what they do know is that it will happen. The only thing we can hope for is that research will go a long way and be able to duly prepare for the next pandemic, and of course, that it doesn't happen this year. Because if it does, then humanity will have another uphill battle to face. For the bonus section of our video, we have the Nostradamus 2021 prediction. Nostradamus was a French astrologer who was said that could predict events in the future. Many theorists claim that he has predicted things such as the bubonic plague, World War II, 9/11, and many other significant historical moments. In 1555, he wrote thousands of predictions that could go until the year 3797. 2021 is a dark entry, to say the least. He predicts that an asteroid will be hitting the Earth, bringing the world to an end. He wrote, "In the sky, one sees fire and a long trail of sparks." He also predicts that soldiers with microchip implants in their brains will soon be the norm. Obviously, he didn't say exactly this, but rather, "The newly made one will lead the army." It could very well be him predicting that advanced military technology could soon reach a milestone and could bring a day of reckoning to the world. There have been claims that China is developing soldiers with biologically enhanced capabilities. Nostradamus also wrote, "Few young people, half dead to give a start. Dead through spite, he will cause the others to shine, and in an exalted place, some great evils to occur." Who knows what that could mean? Of course, it's probably not true, but the man does have an impeccable track record, albeit left to the interpretation of others. But could 2021 be a year that Nostradamus correctly predicts? If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Make sure to stay on our channel and catch our next 2 videos, for they will be even better. Thank you for watching Top 5 Breathtaking.